Morning everyone. We're going to do something else against the wall today to keep the shoulders moving, and I don't want to do anything too strong on these because I don't know who's watching, so I don't want anyone to hurt themselves. So we're going to start by turning around. So if you've been to my classes, you'll know this as something we do to start off the class quite often. So we're going to turn and face the wall, lean your hands and elbows into the wall, put your left foot close to the wall, take your right foot back and straighten out that back foot. So if you've got a yoga mat, the outside edge will be kind of parallel to your yoga mat, so you don't want to have a deep angle there. And then leaning into the wall, bending your left knee towards the wall and keeping your right heel beautifully grounded into the ground, into the mat. And then starting to, it's a kind of a supported lunge, so you'll be lunging, it's that movement of gently lunging and then getting to the point where you feel something happening in the calf of your back leg. So you're keeping that leg straight if you can, and then just resting there and finding the breath. Gentle, slow breath into the belly and right up into the chest and all the way out smoothly. So kind of 3 breaths, and then slowly changing sides, okay? Check that back foot is parallel to the mat. Leaning into the wall and then lunging forwards a little bit with the right knee, and the left heel stays down on the ground. So you're opening the back of your back leg, lengthening until you feel something happening in your calf muscle, and then finding the breath smoothly into the belly, up into the ribs, all the way out. Two or 3 lovely, long, slow breaths. Okay, and then turning around and standing with your back against the wall and stepping forward. So you do need to make sure your feet are nice and grippy, and your feet need to probably be you could measure maybe 2.5 feet of your feet away from, no, maybe it's just 1 foot away from the wall. So you're kind of, you're not miles away from the wall. I'm counting 1.5 of my planks on the floor. And then bending your knees a little bit and feeling the back of your waist and the back of your pelvis in the ground. So some of us tend to kind of stick our bottoms out, and then you'll have a very deep dip in the back of the waist. So you're closing that curve into the wall. And then the backs of the shoulders can ease back into the wall. Perhaps feeling some lengthening in the back of the neck, and your chin drops a little. So I'm going to go from here into a supported forward bend. So leaving the back of your pelvis, the back of your waist on the wall, let your shoulders and your head drop away. Chin drops. And then without sliding in your hips, start to roll down, but there's no sliding happening, there's a rolling that's happening. So the back of your pelvis stays on the wall, and when you come down your neck, that means that your knees are bending more, so your chest can kind of land on your thighs, or your knees might be into your armpits, and you can let go of your head, have a little shake, and then to come up, feeling your feet really rooting down, rooting the feet down into the ground, rolling, no sliding, so the knees stay bent, rolling up through the back of the pelvis, the back of your waist meets the wall, your back ribs meet the wall, and the back of your shoulders meet the wall, and you're standing. And then again, dropping the chin, your shoulders come away, rolling the back of the pelvis down, the arms are hanging, landing on your thighs or your knees. So you're looking between your legs at the wall behind you, because your head is heavy and your neck is very loose. a lovely, slow, soft breath. It can feel nice to come up on an exhale. So when you're ready, your feet are reaching into the ground. You might feel that you're kind of pushing your pelvis back into the wall as you roll up. Back of the waist, back ribs, shoulders, and your head arrives. So I'll do that one more time. Chin drops, rolling down. Breathing. And then when you're ready, on an exhale, your feet are dropping as you're rolling up. There we go, and that's woken the lungs up. Okay, well done. So coming away from the wall now, turning around and facing the wall again, and standing a little bit further back. So I'm counting 2.5 planks of my floor, and that's kind of footprints, 1, 2, and then the third footprint back. With a bit more space between the feet, walk your hands up the wall, spread your hands a little bit wider than your shoulders. Reach your fingers, so crawl your fingers up the wall. I don't know if you can see my fingers anymore on the screen, they might have gone out of the frame. And then dropping your head and tilt, and without sliding your hands, taking the weight of your pelvis back over towards your heels a little bit, but keeping your hands on the wall. And then you get quite a strong feeling in your armpits opening and the shoulders opening. And because your arms are up, but they're not working, the muscles are relaxed and your shoulders are relaxed, your ribs can move quite freely. So you can take a slightly deeper breath in, right up into the whole of your ribs, up to your collarbones, up to the back of the neck, and all the way out. So your shoulders sit on top of your ribs. So as you do this deep, slow breathing, you're releasing your shoulders from the inside. Thinking of your ribcage as a cylinder, widening at the sides, getting bigger at the back, lifting in the front, and all the way out. And your ribcage becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And one more time, a lovely slow breath in. All corners of the lungs inflating, and then exhaling all the way out. And walking the hands down. So that's a kind of a dog pose against the wall. Ooh, that feels quite strong. So a nice little shake out. Let's do that little shoulder roll thing again. Feeling the collarbones going through all the movements. God knows what my hair looks like today. I've just literally got out of bed, got dressed, put some lipstick on, made some coffee, and I'm recording, trying to beat everybody else to the internet busyness. So changing directions in the shoulders. And let's just do a little standing breathing. So your feet are hip width apart, beautifully planted on the ground. All the different bones of the feet are well connected with the ground. Your shoulders dropping soft, your elbows are softly dropping. And with the palms of your hands touching and all of the fingers touching, come forwards a little bit so you can see me better. And then we're going to do this, I'm pretty sure it's called the lotus mudra. So we're opening the hands but leaving the heels of the hands, the little fingers and the thumbs attached. So your hands kind of open like a big, deep goblet. And then exhaling, they close softly. All the pads of the fingers and the hands are touching. And then with the inhale, they softly open. Exhaling and closing. So this is just helping with that soft, slow breath. Bringing a different dimension to the breathing. You could close your eyes or you could look at your hands. And you could carry on doing that for as long as you're comfortable. Okay, enjoy.